Hey guys, been a while, but again I'm back with another video. Today I want to talk about my compact point and shoot, the Nikon 35Ti. Really beautiful camera and just a joy to use. You'll notice I'm in front of an orange background today. I'm not shooting from my apartment today, I'm actually in my studio. I just had the lighting set up and the camera's here, so I thought I'd just shoot this video while I'm here. Got some time. So yeah, the Nikon 35Ti. What a beautiful compact point and shoot. Came out in the 90s by Nikon, and it's they're kind of premium point and shoot. And what makes it premium? Well, mainly it's the lens. It's got a really nice lens on here, 35mm 2.8. Just the aesthetic of this camera is really unique. It's got like a dial on the top, and it's Nikon's answer to the Contax lineup of point and shoots, the Contax T2, T3. Those cameras are amazing, and I really want one. I'm always on the lookout, but the cost of those cameras are so expensive now. Point and shoots in general, I think, have just gone up in popularity so much. People nowadays, like, they just want that film aesthetic, and they want it super easy, so they don't want to, use maybe a larger SLR. So point and shoots are generally mostly all automatic, autofocus, just like the name says, point and shoot. And the Contax line of cameras, the T2, T3s, they've really gone up in pricing, mainly because like celebrities are using them, and like, of course, once like that gets into pop culture, it just like the resale values have just been going up like crazy, and I can't justify spending $1,000 on a point and shoot. I think if you want to get into point and shoot cameras, get a cheap one. Like, you can find some good ones for like 50 bucks, 100 bucks. Some nice plastic ones like Konicas, the Pentax SBOs, all very good. And you don't need to sweat it too much. This is meant to be a fun camera, and just like you bring it along with you. It's small, put it in your jacket pocket, take it out, take some photos with it real quick, and it's just real quick and easy. It's actually a titanium body, and it's small, fits in my hand, pretty small, can fit in a pocket. I don't know if you wear tight jeans, it probably won't fit in your jean pocket, but jacket pockets are good. And the lens contracts. It goes back in the body, so it's kind of slim, but when it goes in the body, it's just like real smooth. And there's the top. What really makes this camera interesting is definitely this dial here. It's like an analog display dial. It kind of reminds me of like watches, or like a speedometer in a car. It's got all the information you need to shoot this, so you can actually shoot this from the hip, and you just like look at the bottom here, and it's got autofocus and that stuff, but like, it's really unique and interesting. It's like sometimes it's not too useful though. If you're looking through the viewfinder, all the information you can't access from the top, but everything else, in the viewfinder you have the shutter speed and everything. But on the top, it's really interesting. Why don't we take a closer look at this camera, and then I'll tell you about my experience shooting with it and why I think it's a camera worth getting if you have the money. But let's take a look. So here's the front of the camera, really nice. See, the lens is hidden behind this little shield here. We turn it on, pops out. It's a 35-8 lens. On the top, there's a built-in flash, so if you're shooting it at night or you're indoors, the flash is a big help with that. Here's the manual overrides flash, so if you don't want to shoot the flash, you hold this button down and hit the shutter. If you want to force the flash, hold this button, hit the shutter, real easy. Autofocus, so the autofocus elements are up here, and yeah, super simple. It's a point and shoot. That's what it does. On the side here, red eye reduction. On the back here, really interesting. It's got a little panorama, but all this does is bring the cuts the top and the bottom of the frame. So I wouldn't really use it. It just crop it in post. I don't know why you do that. So right now it's loaded with some Portra 400. Really like this little film window. I always forget what film I have in my camera, so this is big win. Top here, the mode and set. So this camera, you can set a lot of different things. They have like custom functions in terms of like if you want to print the date on your photo, you can do that. And also there's some manual overrides and customizations you can do to the camera, so you can like always have the flash off. There's a great manual I'll link it in the description below. But yeah, the camera manual, just got to follow that. It's got everything you need. Now the top is the camera. This is where it gets real fun. Check this out here. This is the light meter actually. This is where the light comes off. But there's a little LCD display. But there's the film counter there and information display. If there's any errors, it'll show E. But the fun thing here is the top display here. This is like the analog dial, which makes this camera super unique. And I think if you're gonna own one, like this is the reason why you get it, is for this top dial. Like no other camera really has this. And it's kind of got the information on there. If you have P, it's just program auto, full auto. But if you go to A, you can see the dial moves here, and this is the aperture dial. You can swing the control dial and change your aperture priority, and then the camera will do the shutter speed. But when you half press your shutter, right there the focus distance changes. So it'll tell you exactly where your focus is. And that's like the frame counter in the middle here. It's got all the information. If you're doing like self-timer, the dial will change. Here's the EV comp. So if you want to change your exposure value, hold this button down here. And then you rotate the thing. You can see that little dial is moving now. I normally shoot an A, like aperture priority. I like to shoot it 2.8. Okay, let's just get it back in here. It's a little noisy when you close it though, a little noisy. Nice, I really like that. It's so fun. Yeah, down here you got the made in Japan, real quality stuff. And you got, you know, tripod mount. This is where the battery goes. It takes a really calming battery that you can pick up. It's like a little tiny guy. Super easy. They still make it, so it's all good. And then here's this is what you use to open the back to reload film. But yeah, this is it. Nikon 35Ti. Perfect little camera. Fits in the palm of your hand. The Nikon 35Ti, let's talk about the shooting experience of this camera. It's definitely a niche camera. For the price, you can have just as much fun shooting a cheaper point and shoot, but I just love the aesthetic of this camera. It honestly is more about buying this camera for the aesthetic than really the features or everything else. Although the lens on it is beautiful, some of my favorite photos from this camera is just like, it looks better than some of my SLR lenses. I just think it's the lens is so sharp and clear. It's a beautiful lens by Nikon. There it is. I would say it rivals the Contax. Although I've never shot a Contax, it's on my bucket list of things. Whenever people see it, it's always a great conversation piece, especially with the little analog dial. You can show people that, they always lose it. But yeah, as a point and shoot, I just carry it around and just like photograph of it. It's super easy. Throw in my bag, throw in my jacket pocket. Let me know in the comments what your favorite point and shoot is, and yeah, why do you like shooting with a point and shoot? For me, point and shoots, it's all about simplicity, the automatic function of it, and just ease of use. I think that's big. I just want to take it out, great at parties, or you're just out with friends and you're shooting it. You can pass it to a friend and they just hit the shutter and they shoot it. It's super simple, nothing to get confused about. But yeah, Nikon 35Ti, just a beautiful camera. But yeah, let's take a look at some of the photos, and yeah, here are some of my favorite shots I've taken with the 35Ti.